Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So, we have a new thing out here from Breitbart on Donald Trump. That's right, Donald Trump is in the news again, go figure. But we have an article here from Breitbart on Trump, and apparently he has hit 65% in New York, more than 50% ahead of Ted Cruz. This is absolutely amazing. A new poll on Thursday obliterates the latest mainstream media narrative confronting billionaire Donald Trump, that he can't get majorities, but he can only get pluralities, I believe is how that's pronounced, in election results. The poll of New York State, conducted by Boston's Emerson College, has Trump dominating his only two remaining competitors in the Empire State, with 65% of Republicans there backing him. Only 12% back Senator Ted Cruz, Trump's closest competitor, and just 1% support for Ohio Governor John Kasich. John Kasich, the guy that always talks about, I fixed Ohio, I can fix America. Yeah, okay. Well, I love Ohio. Did I tell you about Ohio? Ohio. Okay. No offense to my friends in Ohio. Without you, many West Virginians would not be employed. Anyway, the poll of New York State, conducted by Boston's blah, 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 blah. We already read that. The poll was conducted over 3 days, March 14th through the 16th, during 2 days of which Senator Marco Rubio was still in the race. Rubio dropped out on the evening of March 15th after an abysmal performance in his home state of Florida, where Trump walloped him by more than double digits. And I'd also like to point out, just for, news purposes, that Rubio dropped out and he's still doing better than Kasich. Anyway, continuing here, in the position or portion of the poll, there I go making up words again, conducted before Rubio suspended his campaign, the pro-amnesty Floridan got just 4% in New York. 4% in New York. 19% chose someone else or were undecided. So that's what happened there. In a direct match, no, that's not what I'm reading. Let's see here. In a direct matchup between Cruz versus Trump still wins New York by 69 to 25%. So Cruz gets his rear end handed to him up in New York. So something that will probably make Cruz backers a bit uneasy, as they've been hoping that a head-to-head with Trump would be more beneficial to the Texas senator. Now, let me explain something to you here. So, because we're polling New York here, all right? Now, in my personal opinion, of course, Donald Trump is going to win New York because that's one of the areas that that's where he's from. But on top of all that, Ted Cruz made that whole New York values thing, and a lot of New Yorkers got ticked off by that. So, I think Ted Cruz doesn't have any chance of winning up there. But with that being said, I think he does have a slight chance of he has the best chance compared to Kasich of beating Trump. Okay, if Trump doesn't get it, it would be Ted Cruz that would be in second, unless John Kasich ends up getting it by super delegates or whatever. But I tell you, if we end up getting Kasich, oh my gosh, we are in huge trouble. Let me tell you. I mean, that guy, he just comes across as being sort of this wimpy guy. And for those of you out there, for example, just with his stance on Christianity, if you are truly a Christian, you do not believe in compromising the Word of God to accommodate others, to accommodate people that sin. All right? The Bible says what? It says that in order to be a Christian, you have to separate yourself from sin. You have to live your life according to what the Bible teaches. And the Bible says that if you reject the devil will do what? He will flee. If you completely reject sin and you take sin out of your life, you dedicate your life to Jesus Christ, it just completely does a transformation in your, everyday life. And see, that's the thing that really gets to me, because John Kasich really just justifies sin, justifies homosexuality, is really just lenient on a lot of these issues out there that are very important to evangelicals, very important to Christians. I don't like, see, that's one thing, that always gets to me, because all Christians should be evangelicals. We should all be on fire for Christ because, if you're a dead Christian, let me tell you, you're not doing anybody any favors because, if you compromise the Word of God, you're definitely not doing yourself a favor either because you're just making your life worse. You've got to completely turn over your life to Jesus Christ if you want to truly have a life-changing experience take place. That's what it means to be born again, to live your life in anew for Jesus Christ. And when John Kasich is out there saying, yeah, it's all right to be gay, it's all right to go to gay weddings, I've been to gay weddings, that's what Kasich has been saying. So, guys, Kasich is not a conservative, and he's definitely not an evangelical, definitely not a very strong Christian when it comes to rejecting sin, let me tell you. So John Kasich is not a guy that you should be backing. If you're going to back anybody, back Ted Cruz. Or, even Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a very good guy to back. And on the last show, I got really ticked off with Ted Cruz after, because I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, because this is what I have told people from the very beginning, all right? I do not like endorsing presidential candidates, because I feel that in a primary, it's their job to convince me that they're ready for the presidency. I should not be endorsing anybody and putting my full-fledged support behind them because people change. All right? I can like Ted Cruz 1 minute and then he'll disappoint me. I can like Donald Trump 1 minute and then he'll disappoint me. But what I have to do as a voter is I have to make a decision. Who is the best one for the job? And if you're smart, you will review the candidates over a period of time. You'll review them until Election Day, and then you'll make your decision then. And that's what I've done. I have waited, and I'm, wanting to test the waters to see which one makes the right decision. Because let me tell you, all right, for example, with Donald Trump has been standing for predominantly conservative issues, to be honest with you. He has not expressed progressive policies. He's been very politically incorrect, which I think is a good dose of what this country needed. And because everyone's too sensitive anymore. You tell them, oh, yeah, that shirt's okay. It's not the best color. Oh, you're horrible. You're hateful. I get tired of this stuff. It's just so absolutely outrageous. I was just at a meeting the other day, a government meeting here locally. And this guy who was serving on the council was up there just saying, I'm tired of political correctness. I'm tired of Christians always having to make all these sacrifices. However, we do whatever we can to benefit these other religions. It's just so absolutely outrageous. It's horrible. I think that Christians need to start, making their voices heard again. And the next thing you know, this lady starts standing up, screaming her head off, goodness sakes, and just absolutely hammers the guy, saying that he's, how dare he offended her, he's upset her, and all that. And I'm back there thinking, what in the world? What if this guy was a Muslim up there? What if this guy was a member of some other faith up there saying the exact same thing? That tolerant little liberal would have kept her mouth shut and wouldn't have said a word. But because it's a Christian and because she was a member of another faith, she just blew up on him. And it's so absolutely outrageous to see what has taken place in our country, because we feel like religion has no place anymore. It doesn't have any place in government, period. Especially when you consider that they like to use separation between church and state in every single argument that they come up with. But yeah, we're on a completely different subject, but while we're on separation between church and state, I'll just say this. Regarding that entire issue, the reason why Thomas Jefferson made that remark was because an organization called the Danbury Baptists contacted Jefferson and said, or really just asked Jefferson, are you going to favor one Christian denomination over another? Are you going to favor, say, for example, the Methodists over us? Are you going to favor this denomination over us? And Thomas Jefferson said no. Nope. Separation between church and state. We don't establish a religion. Well, guess what? Just by simply acknowledging the existence of God, you are not establishing religion. By praying in Jesus' name, you are not establishing a religion that everyone has to abide in. If you don't want to say the prayer, then don't say the prayer, but don't try to prevent other people from doing it. It's just absolutely ridiculous, in my personal opinion. And it's a direction that we've headed as a country, and we have needed a good dose of political incorrectness, and that's what Donald Trump has been dealing. And that's one of the reasons why I do like him in a lot of aspects. It's because he has absolutely turned the liberal left upside down, and he is destroying liberalism single-handedly, and no one knows how to deal with it. Because let me tell you something, guys, and I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. I mean, Ted Cruz is a great guy, but he could not accomplish in 10 years what Donald Trump has been able to accomplish in the past few months with reviving the American culture in this nation. Because let me tell you, I've just went to our middle school, okay? I very active in the community, try to be anyway, and I'm also a member of student council, okay? Well, on student council, we went to Buchanan Upshur Middle School, is my old middle school, and we were telling the upcoming students about the high school and everything, preparing the 8th grade students for the high school, telling a lot of the other students that are 6th graders, 7th graders about what the high school is going to be like. And when I was in this class, because we went up there twice, the second time that I went up there, I was in this class with, it was a science class, and they were having like an advisory or something. Well, anyway, there's this kid in there talking about Donald Trump, about how he loved Donald Trump, how he's a big fan of Donald Trump. And there were 2 other kids that really just thought the kid was nuts. But the rest of the kids in there, they really love Trump. This is at a middle school level. We have middle schoolers that are getting politically involved in support all out there for Donald Trump. And that is something like I have never seen before. And that is really a sign to me that Donald Trump is doing a great job, because he is placing in these kids at young ages American values of where you're just proud to be an American. You're happy to be American. You love your country. You love your Lord. And it's, everyday American values that we've always known. He is bringing back the country to what we once were. And it's really, in my opinion, great. It's fantastic, because Ted Cruz has not been able to do that. Donald Trump is the only one who's been able to do that. Marco Rubio? John Kasich? He's horrible, okay? But you bring up Donald Trump's name. Middle schoolers, a lot of them love Donald Trump. High schoolers love Trump. At least that's, here in West Virginia, I should say. But he is awakening a lot of people of my generation, and that is something. Well, and guys, if you've ever listened to this show before and have heard me talk and rant and rave about the reasons why I got involved, the reason why I started radio in the first place was because I wanted to reach my generation and inform them of the issues concerning this country. Well, Donald Trump, and I wanted to wake him up. Well, anyway, Donald Trump is doing just that. He is accomplishing. He's not only waking up the seniors in America, he's not only awakening the middle-aged people here, not only a majority, but all these minorities, waking them up and getting them to see the light, waking up a lot of millennials out there. And in my opinion, he is doing something that the Republican Party has been unable to do for years. And he is basically popularizing conservatism. I mean, border security, that is conservative. Opposing abortion, conservative. Opposing same-sex marriage, conservative. Opposing illegal immigration, conservative. Supporting, like I said, securing the border, conservative. I mean, guys, Donald Trump, everything that Trump has expressed regarding his tax policy, regarding getting jobs back over here to the United States, going to an in-depth policy of how to do so. If you actually read his report, because you can't just listen to his speech, you have to actually read what he wants to do. It's on his website, donaldjtrump.com. I'm very intrigued by it. I'm very impressed by it. And if Donald Trump does not win this election, and this is my personal view, if Cruz is the nominee, I will be happy. If Trump is the nominee, I will be happy. But what I would really like to see happen is I would like to see Cruz just say, all right, you know what? I'm going to just leave it to Trump this time. We'll see what happens. But I'd like Cruz to stay in there until Kasich drops out. But because I think Donald Trump is going to become the nominee. It's not really an if, it's a what. I have, understood that Trump is going to be the nominee for quite some time now. But with Donald Trump being the nominee, I think Ted Cruz needs to just learn, okay, well, that's what's going to happen. Whether I like it or not, that's what's going to happen. And if Trump doesn't win the nomination, then that's fine. Then I will run in 2020. And that's what Ted Cruz, I personally feel, needs to do. If he doesn't, he'll gain more experience. And if Donald Trump ends up trumping Ted Cruz, then Ted Cruz needs to run again in 2020, and we'll see what happens from there.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time. Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
J.P. Morgan is now holding a record 55 million ounces of silver. Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting another financial crisis, and over time, they're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. Silver is trading below its production costs and is predicted to double by 2020. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. If you find a better rate, they will easily match it just for you. Plus, their specialty is precious metals IRA rollovers for the ultimate in IRA security. Be one of the first 20 callers today to receive their free definitive gold guide, plus their exclusive A Sterling Time to Be Buying Silver report. They have an A-plus rating with a Better Business Bureau, so call the experts at Capital Gold Group now and see what investing in gold and silver can do for you. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. Once again, that is 1-800-932-4108.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method, and to get your free report, go to 25security.com. That's the number 25security.com. 25security.com. Go to 25security.com.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Bank on Yourself. Bank on Yourself is a company that basically teaches their clients how to invest money, how to prepare for their retirement, how to reduce their 401ks, basically how to manage your money wisely. And the president of the company is Pamela Yellen. She has investigated over 450 financial products and strategies in search for an alternative task and voluntary of traditional investments. She has appeared on every major TV and radio network, and her articles and interviews have appeared in thousands of publications and websites. And she is a New York Times bestseller on Bank on Yourself Revolution. Now, if you'd like to find out more, you can go to 25security.com. 25security.com. Once again, that is 25security.com. You know, running for the presidency is supposed to be about portraying yourself as the most professional candidate fit for the office.
Caiden Cowger.
So what does Hillary Clinton do?
Somebody had to say it.
She barks like a dog.
You know? Who let the dogs out? 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 You know?
Show notes and segments from today's show will be posted at CaidenCowgerProgram.com. If you're on Twitter, just follow Caiden Cowger at Caiden Cowger.
That would be the best decision of your life. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say
All right,
it.
ladies and gentlemen, the burn, the diaper rash is here. We are here from, oh, by the way, you know what they were playing at one of Bernie Sanders' rallies? Burn, baby, burn. You know that disco song? Burn, baby, burn. Come on, sing it, burn, baby. That's what they were playing at Bernie Sanders. That was the most awkward thing. It was clever, but it was really awkward. Whatever. But anyway, have some audio here for you. This is from Rachel Maddow. I think it's Maddow, but I call her Maddow because she's mad and thinks that she's smart. But anyway, Bernie Sanders, you should see the face that I have screenshotted here. I mean, I paused the video and it really paused it on an awkward part of it. But anyway, Bernie Sanders looks like he doesn't have lips in this picture. But anyway, Bernie Sanders was on Rachel Maddow's show and was talking about what he plans to do if he doesn't end up winning the Democratic nomination by popular vote or by delegates. Well, Sanders told Rachel Maddow that he will take the nomination fight to the convention and try to win superdelegates. So basically, he's wanting to do what Mitt Romney wants to do in the Republican Party. Go ahead and play it. This is from MSNBC or MSLSD, whichever you prefer. Go ahead and play it.
Let me ask you about something that's actually based in your fundraising theory of the case here. One of the things that has been stunning about your campaign is how many small donors you have, how people have been willing to give to you again and again and again in small amounts. You've raised so much money and have shown such fundraising prowess. Obviously, you can, no matter what happens in primaries and caucuses, you can stay in this race indefinitely. You're never going to run out of money. You are right now behind in the delegates. Because you won't have that kind of constraint on your campaign, though, I wonder if you can imagine a scenario in which you're still behind Secretary Clinton in terms of delegates, but you went all the way to the convention this summer and tried to make a case for yourself by basically persuading the superdelegates to support you instead of her. Is that something you can imagine doing?
Well, here's the scenario. Secretary Clinton has done phenomenally well in the Deep South, and she has picked up a whole lot of delegates there. We are now moving beyond the South. We're moving west, where we think the terrain favors us. West Coast is probably the most progressive region of the United States of America. We think we have a good shot, can't guarantee it, of winning a whole lot of states, of winning a whole lot of delegates, of perhaps California, state of Washington, Oregon, many of the smaller states, and winning New York State. We think if we come into the convention in July in Philadelphia, having won a whole lot of delegates, having a whole lot of momentum behind us, and most importantly, perhaps, being the candidate who is most likely to defeat Donald Trump, we think that some of these superdelegates who have now supported Hillary Clinton can come over to us. Rachel, in almost every poll, not every poll, but almost every national matchup poll between Sanders and Trump, Clinton and Trump, we do better than Hillary Clinton, and sometimes by large numbers. We get a lot more of the independent vote than she gets, and frankly and very honestly, I think I am a stronger candidate to defeat Trump than Secretary Clinton is, and I think many of the superdelegates understand that.
I just want to be super clear with you about that, just to make sure that I understand. Are you saying that even if you were behind in pledged delegates, I know you think you won't be, but if you were behind in pledged delegates, you would still take that case all the way to the convention and try to convince the supers?
Well, we're going to do the best that we can in any and every way to win, but I think when you have states, for example, say in New Hampshire, where we won by 22 points, in other states where we've won by 25 or even 30 points, I think it is not unreasonable for the people of those states to say to their superdelegates, hey, how about representing the people of our state and the outcome of the caucus or the primary?
I'm going to push you and just ask you one more time. I'll actually ask you from the other direction. If one of you presumably there won't be a tie. One of you presumably will be behind in pledged delegates heading into that convention. Should the person who is behind in pledged delegates concede to the person who's ahead in pledged delegates in Philadelphia?
Well, I don't want to speculate about the future. and I think there are other factors involved. I think it is probably the case that the candidate who has the most pledged delegates is going to be the candidate, but there are other factors. And the other factors will be the strength of each of us in taking on the Republican candidate. What I think is most important to all of the delegates, including the superdelegates, is that we have a candidate who will win and not allow Donald Trump to end up in the...
So that was Bernie Sanders on Rachel Maddow's show. So, yeah, that's what we have there. We have Crazy Bernie, Socialist Sanders, on Rachel Maddow's show. So I guess, yeah. So that's what we're dealing with there. We're dealing with Socialist Sanders, Rachel Maddow's show, saying that he is willing to go to superdelegates in order to try to win the nomination fight to take out Donald Trump. Now, that's what we have. So Lord forbid we would end up with a socialist in the White House. Oh, wait, we already have one. But this guy's an open socialist, so it's tad bit more scary. So anyway, moving on here. Speaking of the socialist in the White House, guess what we have going on right now? President Obama has hiked the post-presidency payments. Listen to this. Obama proposed hikes for fiscal years 2016 and 2017. Obama sought to increase the amount of money available for the federal government to spend on former presidents in advance of his White House exit. This is according to the Washington Free Beacon by Morgan Chalfant. In his budget requests for fiscal year 2016 and 17, Obama proposed hikes in the appropriations for the expenditures of former presidents, according to a report from the Congressional Research Service published on Wednesday. The report, which discusses the pensions and other federal benefits offered to the former commanders-in-chief by way of the Former Presidents Act, specifies that Obama's 2017 budget proposes a nearly 18% hike in appropriations for expenditures of former presidents. He successfully requested an increase in such appropriations for fiscal year 2016. So President Obama, before he exits the White House, is trying to get more benefits for himself. I mean, this guy has taken so much advantage of the United States. It's not even funny. I mean, you look at all the vacations that he's going on, okay? All the multi-millions of dollars that he has spent on vacations to Hawaii, on these worldwide international trips. I mean, this guy spends money like it's his own. He spends worse than a drunken sailor. That's actually an insult to him, like Ronald Reagan would say. But, I mean, seriously, guys, now this man is wanting to give himself more benefits for when he exits the office, basically rewarding himself for destroying the United States of America. I tell you, it's really just absolutely disgusting. But, hey, that's what presidents do. See, and that's the thing. These politicians out there, they do not care about you. You have to understand that. President Obama does not care about the American people. He only cares about himself and advancing his agenda. He cares about power. Hillary Clinton is the same way. All that she cares about is obtaining power. All she cares about is coming out on a great end herself. She wants power like her husband had. So, guys, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. President Obama is taking advantage of the United States. And that's exactly what he's been doing for quite some time throughout his presidency. All the golf trips, all of the vacation destinations. He has been taking advantage of the United States using the taxpayers' money as basically being his own personal ATM. And it's really just absolutely pathetic. So I'm going to ask you the question. Do you guys want another 8 years of this? Because if you elect Hillary Clinton as the next president of the United States, you are going to see a continuation of the Obama policies, of the corruption, of the scandals, of everything.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Bank on Yourself. Bank on Yourself is a company that teaches you how to invest money, how to prepare for your retirement, basically teaches you how to save money. And they are offering a free report right now that you can sign up for, 18 pages, absolutely free. You can get that by going to 25security.com. That is 25security.com. All you have to do is just type in your first name, last name, primary email, and they will send it right your way. That is 25security.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 25security.com. That's the number 25security.com. 25security.com. Go to 25security.com.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Bank on Yourself. Bank on Yourself is a company that basically teaches their clients how to invest money, how to prepare for their retirement, how to reduce their 401ks, basically how to manage your money wisely. And the president of the company is Pamela Yellen. She has investigated over 450 financial products and strategies in search for an alternative task and voluntary of traditional investments. She has appeared on every major TV and radio network, and her articles and interviews have appeared in thousands of publications and websites. And she is a New York Times bestseller on Bank on Yourself Revolution. Now, if you'd like to find out more, you can go to 25security.com. 25security.com. Once again, that is 25security.com. You know, running for the presidency is supposed to be about portraying yourself as the most professional candidate fit for the office.
Caiden Cowger.
So what does Hillary Clinton do?
Somebody had to say it.
She barks like a dog.
You know? Who let the dogs out? 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 You know?
Show notes and segments from today's show will be posted at CaidenCowgerProgram.com. If you're on Twitter, just follow Caiden Cowger at Caiden Cowger.
That would be the best decision of your life. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. It is great to have you with us. So I have some great news here. South Dakota becomes the 13th state to ban late-term abortions, according to Breitbart.com. South Dakota has become the 13th state to make the Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act the law of the land. The measure, and this is by Dr. Susan Berry, by the way, the measure, which bans most abortions in the state after the 5th month of pregnancy, says that it is an act to prohibit the abortion of an unborn child who is capable of experiencing pain and to provide a penalty therefor. Republican State Representative Isaiah Lateral, the bill's primary sponsor in the state house, said that the legislation recognizes the humility of these children, reports Minnesota CBSLocal.com. I think it'll save lives because it lets women know that their children really are humans like us, he continued. I think it's a great step forward for our state, and I would love to see us do more to protect the innocent. The act states the following. Number 1, Section 1, I guess. The state has a compelling state interest in protecting the lives of unborn children from the stage at which substantial medical evidence indicates that they are capable of feeling pain. Number 2, there is substantial medical evidence that an unborn child is capable of experiencing pain by 20 weeks after fertilization. And I actually have a little story that I want to tell you here. And by the way, the law does not provide exceptions for rape or incest as well, addressing the issue of an exception to the law due to a medical emergency. The law states it is a Class 1 misdemeanor to intentionally or recklessly perform or attempt to perform an abortion of an unborn child capable of feeling pain unless it's medical emergency. No medical emergency may form the basis for an exception if it is based on a claim or diagnosis that the pregnant mother will engage in conduct which she intends to result in the death of, other self-harm. So that's what we have there. Now, anyway, moving on, I have a little story that I want to tell you. This happened it was my freshman year. I had a good friend, Blake. Blake was my bill partner at Youth and Government that year. And we decided, all right, what bill do we both feel passionately about that we would like to present to, let me explain Youth and Government to you real quick, all right? Every year, there's a program called YLA, Youth Leadership Association, formerly known as High Y, okay? And I've been a part of this program since I joined high school, and Blake was my bill partner that year. Basically, what happens is that we go to the Charleston State Capitol, and we propose our bill ideas, we propose our bills, we try to get them through a student-led committee. You basically have a mock government that's composed of students from around the state of West Virginia. And you have your own committee. You get to deliver speeches on the House of Delegates floor, on the state Senate floor. You basically play as your delegate or your senator or you're the governor or this or that. But anyway, Blake and I, we were in the House of Delegates. We were delegates. And we were looking up a bill that we felt really passionate about, an issue that both of us could do a great job on. And we decided, all right, let's do a pro-life bill, because Blake is very pro-life, I'm very pro-life. So we decided to do a 20 weeks pain-capable abortion prevention act. So we were working on that. We ended up doing a fabulous, absolutely fantastic job on it. And we were able to get it through committee. And after we got it through committee, we were the last bill on the House floor. All right, so we presented our arguments. We had people calling us sexist, this and that. And then all of a sudden, after this jerk stands up, tries to trash our bill, saying, I find it really funny that 2 males are trying to restrict women's choice, right to choose. Then all of a sudden, this pretty girl, this wonderful, very intelligent girl on the right-hand side of the House of Delegates stands up and starts to speak. Her name's Sarah Blair. And she says, I rise in strong support of this bill as a woman. It's like, oh, yeah. All right, there we go. And And she said, I rise in strong support of this bill. This is what we need. She went into detail on it about how she felt that life needed to be preserved. And she absolutely just utterly destroyed that other delegate's bill. And I just, really, I had so much fun with it. It was really good. And I also destroyed that delegate because, see, before he voted in opposition to allowing, I think it was a capital punishment. And I said, so this delegate yesterday rose in opposition to the bill that allowed capital punishment. However, he refuses to protect the life of the unborn. However, he has no problem in protecting the life of criminals. And that just, oh my gosh, that made everybody go, ooh. It was fun. I loved it. But, the really interesting thing is that it was a little bit divided on the issue, but the majority of people, the majority of students, because we also passed out pictures of abortion practices, the majority of students there, we even had people throwing up Roe versus Wade to us. We destroyed them. We said the Supreme Court is outdated. It said that because the Supreme Court's decision in the Roe versus Wade thing was that when they believed that life was viable, then you have the power to regulate abortion up to that point. So if life is viable, in other words, if the baby is able to live without being in the mother's womb, then you can regulate it to that point. So I pulled up an article that occurred in another country where this baby was born at 21 weeks and is now like a lot older. So it survived after, it's perfectly normal too, after being born at just 21 weeks. So I said, all right, well, why not regulate it to 20 weeks since we have a lot of doctors out there that are saying the babies are capable of experiencing fetal pain. And after seeing the practices of abortion, after hearing pro-life arguments, let me tell you guys, the majority of people in that House chamber that's composed of students from around the state of West Virginia stood in support of our bill. And, guys, I'm just going to tell you, a lot of millennials are waking up. They understand that liberalism is really just based upon stupidity. It's based upon just completely being absent-minded. You don't have to think about anything, you just do it. And that is the dumbest thing that you can possibly do in your life, be it pertaining to politics or whatever. Oh, well, a lot of people who aren't Christians feel that way. I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. It doesn't matter what Jesus thinks. It doesn't matter what the Bible says. I'm just going to live my life the way that I want to, and no one's going to tell me a thing. Well, when you live your life that way, guys, you're going to make a mess of it. I mean, because when you don't think about the consequences of your actions, and when you don't thoroughly analyze issues for example, like abortion, when you don't thoroughly analyze, is abortion murder? Is abortion a good thing? Can the baby experience fetal pain? Do I really believe that innocent babies should be murdered simply for my mistake? Absolutely not. And when you start thinking about these issues and you start, really just studying these issues, I don't understand how you could possibly be a liberal. Because, to be completely honest with you, I think that a lot of these liberals in Washington, D.C., some of them anyway, because you have some that are just completely brain dead, but some of these liberals that are in Washington, D.C., I think that one of the reasons why they are so liberal is because they love the power. They love the power that comes along with liberalism, and they are willing to do anything they can to win. So they pander to these people who are low information, is what I like to call them. Rush Limbaugh started that phrase, low information voters. So they pander to these low information voters, and as a result, what ends up happening is that they keep getting reelected. So I think that they know the right thing, but they evolve their beliefs to match those of progressivism in order to maintain their power. The power means more to them than doing the right thing. Take Hillary Clinton, for example. At one point in time, Hillary was in opposition to same-sex marriage, and the next thing you know, here she is talking about how gay rights are human rights and human rights are gay rights, which is basically just a complete replica of her other speech. Women's rights are human rights and human rights are gay are women's rights. Whatever. So, what if the human right happens to be pertaining to a male? Is that still woman's right? Or I don't know. She puts these things together in her head. It sounds good up there, but then when it comes out through her mouth, then it sounds absolutely horrible. And that's the way that a lot of people view it. People don't like Hillary Clinton. I'm really going to look forward to her losing in 2016 in November. Please, Lord, let it come fast. Anyway, we'll be back.
Caiden Cowger. Keeping America straight. Somebody had to say it.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Bank on Yourself. Bank on Yourself is a company that teaches you how to invest money, how to prepare for your retirement, basically teaches you how to save money. And they are offering a free report right now that you can sign up for, 18 pages, absolutely free. You can get that by going to 25security.com. That is 25security.com. All you have to do is just type in your first name, last name, primary email, and they will send it right your way. That is 25security.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 25security.com. That's the number 25security.com. 25security.com. Go to 25security.com.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Bank on Yourself. Bank on Yourself is a company that basically teaches their clients how to invest money, how to prepare for their retirement, how to reduce their 401ks, basically how to manage your money wisely. And the president of the company is Pamela Yellen. She has investigated over 450 financial products and strategies in search for an alternative task and voluntary of traditional investments. She has appeared on every major TV and radio network, and her articles and interviews have appeared in thousands of publications and websites. And she is a New York Times bestseller on Bank on Yourself Revolution. Now, if you'd like to find out more, you can go to 25security.com. 25security.com. Once again, that is 25security.com. You know, running for the presidency is supposed to be about portraying yourself as the most professional candidate fit for the office.
Caiden Cowger.
So what does Hillary Clinton do?
Somebody had to say it.
She barks like a dog.
You know? Who let the dogs out? 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 You know?
Show notes and segments from today's show will be posted at CaidenCowgerProgram.com. If you're on Twitter, just follow Caiden Cowger at Caiden Cowger.
That would be the best decision of your life. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Well, this is cool. Listen to this. From Cairo, Egypt. Associated Press. Scans of King Tut's burial chamber have revealed 2 hidden rooms, Egypt's antiques minister said Thursday. A discovery that could intensify speculation that the chambers contain the remains of the famed Queen Nefertiti. That's coming out of Egypt. So they might have found Queen Nefertiti in King Tut's burial chamber because they found hidden rooms. So this is really, really cool. Muhammad I really can't pronounce these names, told reporters that the secret chambers may contain metal or organic material, but he declined to comment on whether the royal treasure or mummies could be inside. Analysis of the scans made by Japanese teams showed chambers that would be scanned again at the end of the month to get a better idea of what may lay inside, he said. It means a rediscovery of King Tutankhamun. For Egypt, it is a big discovery. It could be the discovery of the entire century, Al-Dami said. It is very important for Egyptian history and all of the others around the world. The discovery could shine a new light on one of ancient Egypt's most turbulent times, and one prominent, I'm not saying that for extra emphasis, it's just the page is not scrolling down. Prominent times in Egyptian history. I just made that last part up because it's not wanting to scroll down. I'm sorry. Let's see. What did it say? Promi. Okay. One prominent researcher theorized that the Nefertiti's remains could be inside. So that's what it said there. So anyway, so that's what we have in this article. Apologize for not being able to read that last part, but it just wouldn't scroll down. Oh, another thing that we have here. Rubio's exit leaves Trump with an open path to 1,237 delegates, according to the New York Times. Donald J. Trump's series of victories on Tuesday extended his delegate lead, and former Senator Marco Rubio, I should say, out of a presidential race. Mr. Path is winning enough delegates to secure the Republican nomination is not assured, but he is in a strong position. And another thing that I was reading here is that in order for Ted Cruz to win this upcoming election, he would have to receive like 86% of the vote, like 86% of the remaining delegates in order to get the nomination. So that's more than likely just not going to happen. And that was reported by Drudge anyway. So that's what they said. But it's really, I really do. I think that Donald Trump is going to end up with a nomination this year. But that's just, personally what I think. And Marco Rubio has also said, according to WOR 710 in New York, the voice of New York, Rubio is not running for office again after this. He said, I'm done. And he's also ruled out a vice presidential slot. So he doesn't want to be vice president. He doesn't want to run for the presidency again. He's just done. And he's had a rough time in there, especially when he started just really just making a fool of himself there at the end. But to be completely honest with you, I don't think that he's cut for politics anymore. And by the way, on the thing on Cruz, I pulled up Drudge Report. Apparently, Cruz needs 87% of the remaining delegates in order to get the nomination. So that's really just completely unlikely. Donald Trump more than likely will be the Republican nominee. I've been saying this for quite some time. And to all you Cruz supporters out there, I'm just going to say one thing, all right? One time I was completely with you. I loved Ted Cruz. I wanted him in there. I would have done anything to see him win. But then Donald Trump came along, was expressing a lot of conservative opinions, and had a very decent chance at winning. And I have learned Donald Trump will be the nominee. That's just the way it's going to be. He will be the nominee whether you like it or not. So stop bashing him. Stop trying to trash him, make him look bad, because you're basically just working for Hillary Clinton. That's all I have to say. So, guys, I want to thank you for listening to us tonight. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. And for the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you. God bless and God save this nation.